These sector negotiations start off the budgeting cycle for a year, and they normally involve the central government, ministries, departments and agencies, engaging local governments in a discussion over agreements on programs to be implemented at local government level and the funding for these programs. So this year is quite a unique year for us because there's been a change in the planning approaches with the advent of the National Development Plan 3, where everything is going to be aligned to the program-based planning and budgeting approach, as opposed to the previous approach of going along in alignment with the sector approach. You have the health sector, the education sector, the work sector, but now it has changed that you can find that, for example, there are issues around education, human capacity development, that everybody will find health works, as long as it deals with human capacity development, then education will be leading that, and that's a program. So things have changed, and therefore, as we were preparing for the negotiations, we, the local governments, felt that we needed to understand how we're going to align ourselves with these approaches, because the shift now, we know we have to start, yes, but the shift from the sector to the program-based approach has implications on our local government development plans. They have IPS, which still speak to sectors. They have to go back and work around their development plans to speak with the National Development Plan direction, which is not easy. So we said, before we engage the ministries, let us understand what it means. Then the following day, starting tomorrow, we can be able to speak to the ministries on matters crucial for local government service delivery. And that was the whole gist here today. The key message we've delivered, I am sure the Vice President, leader of delegation of the negotiation and advocacy team, will be able to add his voice. But our message has been anchored in the importance of recognizing local governments as critical and equal partners to implementation. Our ministries are more of policy and coordination. But when it comes to actually doing things on the ground, these are the local governments. And seemingly, they've not been strategically positioned to able to take on this role to drive the message of the NDP back home. So we're telling them, come, help the local governments be on board, help them understand this so that the local government development plans speak with the NDP, and then we can able to realize and achieve the results we seek in terms of performance and delivery. And that has been our message. But out of this has come issues of, we've identified issues of centralization of funds. We're talking about a budget that is going to start off NDP 3 with local governments receiving 9% of the national allocation. And these are the questions: how is this going to work? The good thing is that the Minister of Finance representative, Commissioner, has ably told us that, look, there are mandates that were decentralized. He identified roads and things that come with some of the health sector service deliveries. And he said, the advice I can give you is that this is not changeable. The money was brought back to the center. So the best you can do as local governments, sit with your legal regime, remove those mandates, and let the budget get work on mandates that are actually yours. So these are things we're going to reflect on and work with our Ministry of Local Government and Local Government Finance Commission to address. Remember that we are governed by a bigger umbrella policy of decentralization. So we are equal partners. It's not an issue of you, local governments, we, central government. We are together. Therefore, in as much as they build their capacity and prepare themselves, they should make sure that the local governments are equally at par with them in working on this issue. But they should also be allowed the discretion, because they respond to community priorities and needs. And these community priorities, we've been saying, should inform everybody, the NDP. We shouldn't be seeing local governments struggling to understand what the NDP is doing to them. Incidentally, they should be in a comfort zone of just saying that, okay, the community priorities have been catered for, they've been ably covered, and they are speaking already with our development plans. We are saying we should espouse that bottom-up approach to planning rather than the top-down, where there could be compliances. I mean, you've already agreed on something, then you bring to me to work around it. How does that work? So it kills the whole idea of participation and involvement of communities and local governments. So the good thing is that we have a sense of agreement, and we're going to structure out a plan. We've agreed that the implementation plan for the NDP should thoroughly onboard the local governments. They should plan together so that it makes things easier at the end of the day.